Morning from the driveway of the guest house that I'm leaving. So I had a lovely visit here. The Galen Trees, really affordable, great food, lovely proprietors. Cannot say enough good things about them. But it's a nice evening and now I am off. I actually don't know how far I'm gonna make it today. I know I'll get at least to Halford Passage, which, if my apps are correct, is about 7-ish, 7 miles, like a little, I think about more like 6 miles from where I'm currently staying here in Porthallow. But at that point, I have to do a ferry river crossing. And then that will take me to the other side of the river, and it's about 7 more miles until where I'm staying in Falmouth if I walk. Now, the kink to all of this is that before I get to Halford Passage, about 3.5 miles from here, there's this little village of Flushing, I think is what it's called. And there's like a stream or a creek or a river or some flowing body of water that I have to cross. And I can do it at high tide, I can do it at low tide, but apparently everything in between is a walk around, which is an extra 2 miles. So if I have to walk around, I definitely won't make it to Falmouth on foot. But I don't know how I feel. I'm not going to make it at high tide. If anything, it'll be low tide according to the tide charts. So we are trying to see if we can do the low tide crossing so that we don't have to add two extra miles. But you'll see what happens, and so will I. Back to the halfway marker sign. There we go. Flushing is 3.25 miles. I'm trying to get there between 10:30 and 11:30, and it is currently like, I think like 8:45 or something like that. Onward. Well, it's looking like another green tunnel day. So I'm all kitted out with my bug hat on and completely covered from head to toe. Fingers crossed that I don't get like a stinging nettle to the face or anything like that. Can't say it was a great exit from Porthallow. A lot of overgrowth, but headed to Nair Point. Looks at least a little bit clearer. Hopefully doesn't then snake back into the foliage. Fingers crossed. Open air, gentle breeze. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I wish for myself for the day. Gonna appreciate it well at what I'm doing. So I think this bit of water that's going inland is Halford River, or where Halford Passage is. And then if you look beyond it, so I see those buildings there, that might be the edge of Falmouth, maybe. And then that second dip in might be the Fall River. We shall find out. I'm happy to have come across a bit that's been really cut back. Just so much more enjoyable. So I think down there is where I need to do the foot crossing, and that's going to be the ferry crossing in there. Well, according to this, I've done 1.25 miles. St. Anthony's right on the other side of the foot crossing, so not too bad time-wise, I think. We shall see. A little bit of time of walking on this gravel road, which I'm not mad about. There's St. Anthony's, and a little upstream, river, whatever. See, it's very light. That's where I have to foot cross. So if you walk across or take the ferry, it's 3/4 of a mile. If you walk around, it's 2.5 miles. And the ferry runs at high tide, as far as I understand. Did it! I crossed on foot. It only came up to like mid-thigh, so it wasn't that bad. And I actually had another person crossing with me, and we were all both kind of nervous, which is why I didn't film it. But we made it across. I'm re-dressed in my pants and stuff. I stripped down to shorts and put on my sandals to walk across. So now I'm gonna continue on and try to get to Helford and see what time it is. See if I want to continue on. To St. Anthony. Apparently Flushing was a little inland from where I was actually going. But Helford, 2 3/4 miles that way. Trail is so walk that there's usually not much deadfall, but apparently when there is, there is. Check out this deadfall. That is wild. Only half a mile more this way, I believe. Amazing signage, disappointing information. Right next to the path. That's the next, like, notable place in 5.34 miles, or 5 3/4 miles. So I'm the ferry first. In the village of Treath, which is very cute, very quaint, has an aesthetic for sure. Apparently, if your car, you drive through that at low tide only, I would assume. Who knows? Look at that, adorable. I think this is a boat garage. Maybe they're out. Really in Helford, not in Treath. But look how cute. Lunch. Across from Helford and then Helford Passage. It's about 12:20 and I'm gonna head that way, I think. Just popped out of those hedges and now I'm walking on this sort of trail. Look at that blue sky out there. The ferryman that took me across the little river over here told me that the path from Helford Passage to Falmouth is way more exposed, meaning more pretty views, less like tree tunnels, like green tunnels, things like that. So he also said it's about a 4.5 mile or 4.5 hour walk to get into like the main town center of Falmouth, which is about in keeping with my estimate. So I'm not going into the main town center. My B&B is on the waterfront. So if you follow the path all the way around into the center, it's about an additional 3 miles. So to where I'm going is about 7 from Helford Passage. And I believe it should take me 3.5, 4 hours. Kind of depends on the incline, depends on if I do get pretty encased in bushes and have to push my way through. That always slows me down. But yeah, we'll see what we see. And this cloud that's been hovering overhead all day seems to have a break right by the coastline. So here's to hoping that once we get out of this little like river mouth that we're walking in sunshine. Well, it seems I haven't quite escaped the trees. Hopefully this opens up soon because it's quite dark in here. Still chasing that blue sky over there. Hoping that when I come around that headland, I'll be in it a little bit more. It's pretty dreary here still. World War II pillbox, apparently. They're always full of trash and I don't really want to go down there, but it's right here. Let's get really windy here. And down there where all those boats are is where I came from. Teeny tiny little boats. I'm almost back out of the river mouth to where I was before. I went on that little headland. And there's that little Coast Guard station. And then Porthallow is that direction, maybe another, I don't know, 2-ish miles. So headed this direction into the clear, hopefully stays clear blue. I'm clearly on a much more like trodden part of the path. There's little benches everywhere. It's fairly well maintained It's also through a lot more like cow fields, which by nature are going to be more cut back because the cows. So, it's much more pleasant here. I will say that. I'm glad I'm doing this section as like a way to end my day. So close, and yet so far. Well, we're getting much closer to Falmouth. I don't actually know which one it is. I want it to be that one. I think it's that one. I think that's St. Mawes. And then that's, I forgot what it's called. But I think it's that. If it is, then my accommodation is like right there. Just gotta walk all the way around that bend first. But I found a little bench in a field and having a little break. Look how lovely the water is. I'm very much under my shade umbrella, which is coming in real handy because it provides like really cool shade, which I'm here for. I just escaped some biting flies. Hopefully I don't have bites that come out later, but yeah, we're doing okay. I think I have about 3.5, 4 miles left. Actually, hold on. Well, I'm at like 9.2 miles and it's 14. So that's depressingly far. Yeah, so I have about 4 3/4 miles to go. Actually, that's not terrible. That's not terrible. It's only about 3 o'clock. So I think I'm gonna sit here, cool down a bit, drink some more water, and then head out. Well, since it's not very windy and the wind that is blowing is coming from behind me, I decided to try to hike with the shade umbrella. My little jerry-rigged situation here. Not mad about it, honestly. So it's good to know as long as it's not windy, I can do this and provides a little bit cooler of an experience. Well, I stopped off at this lovely little beach about 4 miles away from Falmouth, but I'm real warm and my feet are tired. So 10 miles down, 4 to go. I'm gonna have a little feet in sea break. I'm very excited. Not even that cold. Now, I'm sure it will be cold, would be colder if I put my whole body in, but still. So that is Falmouth right there past the boat. That's Pendennis Castle, I believe. So that's definitely St. Mawes. So yeah, so this coastline is in theory 4 miles. Might be 3.5 if I'm like a little overestimating, but yep. Okay, I'm gonna enjoy my break and get back on trail. Getting close. I think Swan Pool is like under a mile away from where I'm going in Falmouth. Okay, let's go. Stopped at this little snack shop and got a new ice cream. I've never had this kind before, so we'll try it out. I'll let you know how I feel about it. The ice cream is like a chocolate chip situation. It's really good. It doesn't taste artificial. It's a little sweet for me, but very, very chocolatey. I like it. I'm glad I stopped. Probably go with like a 8.8. Well, since I left the beach area, the path has basically been this. Dodging stinging nettles. Pretty much a tunnel of green. Hopefully it opens up soon. So I'm doing a little parallel path walking. The path is right on the other side of that bushy hedge and it's all tucked away. But then there's this field that has cut out paths that are going the same direction. So I'm like 5 feet away from the actual path, walking the same distance. I'm here for it. This is work smarter, not harder, especially when there's stinging nettles. It's passing, I think it's Maenporth, Maenporth. Super pretty. So little Maenporth has like everything. They have a lovely sea. There's a little cafe. There is a bathroom, like full toilets, and also a spigot for drinking water. There's also trash cans. So literally best little 10-minute stop I could have made. Onward. Now, if the path was like this the whole way, I'd be so much speedier. little coves, so many ups and downs. Yes. Wild to believe I walked that entire coastline and like hundreds of miles beyond it. I spy spawn pool. Oh, amazing. I think I'm about 1.5 miles from my accommodation. The path is staying not too crazy, so bless. Falmouth. I made it. Just rolling into Falmouth. So weird. This is the largest like city I've been in since I was here last on Sunday, or I guess Monday morning. So much more people, cars, things than I've experienced over the last 3 days. Wild. So guess to tuck myself in for the evening. Oh, I did it. I walked all the way back to this B&B from the Lizard. I'm exhausted. I want to shower more than anything. I also want some dinner. It's like a little before 6. I think I'm ending the day at about 13.5 miles. Yeah, so if anything happens, I'll pick you up again. But if not, thanks for coming along on the ride. JK, I want to show you my room. So this is my room, a little single. Whoop. I tripped over the bed. Everything I would need and more. Tea service, hair dryer. Assume this is oh, I have a mini fridge. Amazing. And a heater, which I certainly don't need. A TV, which I will not use. I have my own shower, which is kind of random. Sink. And my own, like, I mean, I think I share it with the other two, but access to this little balcony and to sea view. Amazing. The toilet that I have that's private is just like right next door. Just one of the weird little quirks which made this room a little cheaper, but I don't care. Happy to be here. Well, I just took a dip in the sea. It was not even that cold. It was really nice. So that I think is gonna end my day unless I decide to go out for dinner. I might just run down to the grocery store and get a few like ready-made things. But if I end up going somewhere nice, I'll take you with me. If not, that's it for the day.